Okay, no time to explain. We just gotta go, go, go. In my hover around. So, first off, you might have noticed that this one is quite aesthetically different from everything else we've looked at thus far. This one was made with vector graphics. They would just have a system of lights that light up on the arcade machine. And there was a whole game system dedicated to vector graphics. It was called the Vectrex. Mark from Classic Game Room can tell you more about that. Or at least he could if he was still making videos. And that's the Classic Game Room is no longer making videos alarm. We gotta get the hell out of here. So anyway, yeah, this one was a neat mixture of genres. You've got a shoot 'em up and you've got a primitive 2D platformer. And you can argue that maybe the 2D platforming segments were an inspiration for NES Metroid because you're underground with limited oxygen and you're a spaceman and all that. Perhaps there was some inspiration there. Because a lot of that old Nintendo stuff actually did take a lot of inspiration from various 70s and 80s media that came before it. Like somebody found some old record from the 70s that was the inspiration for the Zelda's Lullaby theme in Ocarina of Time. I tried showing that to the Zelda subreddit, and look, I found the inspiration for the song, and they're all that's just a coincidence. That's no. You know, as Redditors typically are. In case you couldn't tell, the jumping in this is just awful. Well, our guy's just totally fried, so it doesn't matter now, but anyway, the whole idea behind the jumping was that you could hold the up button, and as long as you kept it held, your character would keep moving upward. You wouldn't have a jump arc, like in a more advanced 2D platformer. Well, I'd say that's just about the end of that one. God bless me, I tried. Let's do Haunted House next. That could be fun, maybe. It's the original survival horror, I guess. Look, it's got vampire bats on the cover if I could scroll over. Ugh, this thing's so hard to navigate. Look, scary vampire bats. They're gonna give you the coronavirus. What could be scarier than that? That text was too blurry to read. They didn't scan it well. Anyway, here we go. So they wanted to simulate the darkness of being in a haunted house by just having your character be a set of eyes. And then if you press the one button, your character turns into Meatwad, as you can see. Well, actually, it's supposed to symbolize, having a flashlight around you and having some limited illumination, but just looks very Meatwad-esque, doesn't it? Meatwad get the money, see? Meatwad get the honey, she? Driving in my car, living like a... Yeah, you know how the song goes. So anyway, the goal of this game is to go to the various floors of the house and use our flashlight to find the trophy, which is in a random location, and then we have to bring the trophy back to floor number 1. Anyways, as long as we're looking at Atari stuff, here's some trivia for you that you can use to impress your friends at the cookout. Atari founder Nolan Bushnell was also the founder of Chuck E. Cheese. Yeah, that's actually a fairly common known thing in the gaming world, but it's good to reinforce these things, you know. This is important stuff. Who the hell cares about global warming or wars or any of that? This is the information people need. Somebody better contact the fucking White House. Okay, I don't think Haunted House is going anyplace. So, I was looking at my old footage from episode 1, and I've decided that I owe it to you people to try a little harder and get some actual good, competent Pong gameplay. So away we go. So don't the dual sides of the screen kind of remind you of that new thing they're doing on Twitter where they've got the dual videos? You know, one on the left and one on the right playing at the same time. So on the left it'll have a video of a woman saying, "No, Daddy, you don't understand, I can fix him." And then on the right it'll have a picture of a man in a plankton helmet saying, "Where's the fucking formula, Krabs?" Do you have any idea what I'm talking about? I don't think you do. So anyway, using keyboard controls is definitely making this a more palatable rematch. Because in the previous episodes, the pedals were too sensitive. But now they're not. This is gonna be a rematch the likes of which haven't been seen since Garbaggio versus Cookies and Milk the rematch. What the hell did he just say? That sounds like some kind of schizophrenia. But no, I'm referencing a real thing, you see. Allow me to explain. Many years ago on Nickelodeon, they had this show within a show, I guess. It was called Nickelodeon You Pick Live. It aired in between the shows during the commercial breaks, where they would have presenters do fun and games and such. And one of the segments that the presenters would do would be they had this guy who was like a Mexican wrestler named Garbaggio, right? And he would fight inanimate objects, like Garbaggio's gonna fight this trash can or this pillow, and he would basically just pummel inanimate objects for fun. And anyway, they had an episode once where the next fight that he was in, he fought a plate of cookies and a glass of milk, and he lost the fight, and it was like this big dramatic thing. So then, like a month later, they had a Garbaggio versus Cookies and Milk, the rematch, and they had like commercials for it and shit. And nobody recorded it, unfortunately, so it's lost media. But I saw it. It was a big thing. A grown man in a Mexican wrestling costume fighting Cookies and Milk, and they were saying, "Oh, he's dipping the cookies in the milk." Oh, it was great fun. What does modern Nickelodeon do anyway that's comparable to that? They don't have fun anymore. Well, I still lost the game, but at least we got a little closer, eh?